3 days will appear where your body does not need food. If you're conscious of how your body functions, you will become aware that today my body does not need food. Without any effort, you can go without food on that day, if you observe the cycle properly.
Ingestion is happening in today's world just about any time, wherever they are, sitting, standing, any time of the day or night, people just eat because there's so much food. It was not like this ever in the history of humanity. But unfortunately, fortunately there is a lot of food. Unfortunately, people don't know when to eat, when not to eat.
If you observe the natural cycle of the body, there is something called a mandala. Every 40 to 48 days, the system goes through a certain cycle.
If that awareness is not there as to which day that is, for that in India they fixed what is called as Ekadashi. That means 4 days before the full moon, 4 days before the new moon day, people don't eat. Wake up in the morning, no breakfast, no lunch. Only after the sun sets, they eat one meal. This is just to allow the system to realign itself.
So fasting as a process must be done with necessary understanding. If people don't have that awareness, in India we fixed the 11th day of the moon cycle, you must fast. If you're not able to fast, you go on something very light, it's called palhar. That means you go on fruit diet. Because fruit is a substance which is over 90% water and you must eat water, not drink water. This is the yogic science. As far as possible, you eat water. You always be conscious about the food that you're eating, what is the water content. In the yoga center, everybody eats at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 7 o'clock in the evening. Our lives are very physically active. There are no automobiles inside the ashram, it's a large place. Everybody either walks or cycles. Even if you have to go to the dining hall, it's a kilometer. If you want to go to your workplace, it's half a kilometer, 1 kilometer, like this. All the time, people are physically active. So everybody is very hungry. By the time it's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the evening, they're extremely hungry. But we learn to live with that. Empty stomach and hunger are two different things. Hunger means your energy levels start dropping, but empty stomach is a good thing. In the yogic sciences, today modern science also is coming in line with this. But what we know by our experience, you will spend $1 billion to come there, because research is all about how many $1 million. That's how it is.
If you give this break, it's very, very good for your health and your body, the way it functions. Because the system needs that time to adjust itself. Everyday food, it's a lot of hard work for the body. Give it a little break. If you're not able to fast, on one day you go on something lighter, maybe just juices or something else, which is much lighter for the system to handle, definitely body will be very grateful to you. Every day loading it up with cooked food is not a good thing to do. So in that context, fasting here and there, giving the body a break to recover itself, recover its vibrance, not become lethargic with food, is important. Instead of fasting, just keep sufficient break between one meal and the next meal. If I say this, you will give up yoga. The ideal break between one meal and the next meal is 8 hours always. If 8 hours is not possible for you, minimum 5 hours break is needed. You must feel a certain sense of hunger before you eat. Before you feel hungry, if you put food into the system will become lethargic. It will not know vibrance. When I say vibrance, I'm not just talking about you being right now awake. We are not in the same level of vibrance right now, each one of us. We are eating the same kind of food, we are breathing the same air, we are in the same space, but we are not in the same level of experience. This moment how I am within myself, I will not exchange this for anything in the world. If you give me the whole world, I will not make a deal, because this is much bigger than that. And it's possible for everybody. It's not happened simply because the necessary attention and what needs to be done with the system has not been done.
Your body and your brain works at its best only when your stomach is empty. So we always make sure we eat in such a way, how much ever we eat, our stomach must be always empty within 2 to 2.5 hours time maximum. So we go to bed hungry always. People think they cannot sleep. They can sleep. For 25 years on an average, I slept only 2.5 to 3 hours. These days I'm getting little lazy and sleeping anywhere between 3.5 to 4.5 hours in spite of the level of travel that I have. When I say level of travel, if I say my level of travel in the next few days, you will fall off your chair. Because in the next 10 days, I'm in 5 different countries, I don't know how many events, all kinds of events. You are able to keep this up simply because you don't overeat. It's very, very important. Everybody eats 2 meals. I generally eat only 1 meal, 4:35 in the evening, because I don't like to sit in front of the plate and worry about how much to eat. I like to eat well. 4:35 in the evening, if I eat a meal, it's only next day. Is this enough? Am I looking okay? Hello? I'm not looking like your patient, isn't it? I'm not going to come to you.
What is its spiritual significance? Because it's a cleansing. If your system is not vibrant, you won't feel like doing anything spiritual. You're feeling lethargic. For a meditator, the biggest enemy is sleep. To sit here with eyes closed and fully alert takes something else. For most people, if they close their eyes, it's sleep. So to sit here and to be very alert with eyes closed takes a certain level of vibrance in the body. So to create this vibrance, we observe how to eat, what to do, how much to eat, all these things. It is not spiritual, but it is providing the right kind of body. Right now, if your body is feeling very lethargic, I am talking enlightenment, so what the hell? Isn't it? So keeping it vibrant, alert, and keeping the body free of pains and problems is important because only then you will seek something bigger. Right now your leg is hurting, really hurting. God appeared. What will you ask? My leg pains. Yes or no? What more will you ask? That's all you will ask, isn't it? Because body has that kind of power over you. Unless you keep it in a certain level of ease, it rules you from every direction, isn't it so? For this, keeping your body very pure and healthy is important. Otherwise, body becomes the dominant force in your life. It will not allow you to think beyond. Right now, if something starts really paining in your body, just your little finger really starts hurting badly, you are not interested in God, enlightenment, meditation, nothing. You are interested in this one. So this one has that kind of power, so you must keep this one happy. Only then it'll allow you to do something else. Otherwise, it'll not allow you.
So in India, in the yogic culture, it's very, very clear. This is called as samsara, that means cyclical life. So the body is a cycle. These cycles are very connected with the planetary cycles, with the moon cycle, with the sun cycle, everything. Lunar cycle, solar cycles and the earth cycles are very important for the body. If one has the necessary awareness, they could observe on which day your body doesn't need food. If you observe your system, you will see on a particular day, you don't feel like eating. That day you should not eat. But no, you're at your friend's house, there is a party, you stuff yourself, even if your body says no, you stuff yourself. You see all the animals, even if you have a dog at home, on a certain day he refuses to eat, both dogs and cats. He will go and eat some blades of grass if it's available and puke and cleanses himself because he's conscious. Ingestion is continuously happening, but digestion and excretion is not as efficient as ingestion. Ingestion is happening compulsively, but other parts need to work. Other dimensions of digestive process needs to work. When we say digestion, digestion happens in the whole alimentary canal, not just in the stomach. Assimilation also happens across the entire alimentary canal. Excretion doesn't happen only through the alimentary canal, excretion needs to happen on the cellular level also. Impurities gather over a period of time and you become dense both in body and head. If you don't cleanse yourself, then it'll pile up over a period of time. We call this karma because when it piles up, it determines the way you think, feel, understand and experience life. People may not realize this. They will think, this is how I am, this is my nature. This is not your nature, this is the way you messed yourself. So this cleansing process, one important thing is to give a break for ingestion. Because other systems are largely involuntary, you can stimulate them, but they're involuntary, they're functioning. Ingestion is a voluntary process. My hand doesn't decide when to eat. If there's anything, people are doing this all the time.
I relate.
So ingestion should be a conscious process. To bring this consciousness, there are many methods. One is fasting. Simply denying yourself food and water could cause damage to the system. You must support it with the necessary practices. If you have the necessary practices, the need for food will come down. See, our energies are not coming only from the food that we eat. The sunlight, the air, the water… Actually, in the yogic sciences, we say, if you really keep your system well, 60 to 70% of your energy should come from these three factors: sunlight, air, water. Another 40% should come from the food that you eat. So naturally, amount of volume of food that you eat will compress. To ensure that digestive system is in full process, because for most of the chronic ailments that people are suffering today in the world, the headquarters is in the stomach. For a lot of people, it's shifting to their head, but largely headquarters is in the stomach, what they eat and the way they eat. So in this way they eat, one simple thing to bring discipline is maybe 1 or 2 days in a month, you go on much lighter foods which are very simple and easy on the body. If you can just thrive on water or just a little bit of lemon and water or lightly honey-laced water, it will help, but if it's not possible for you, maybe a fruit or something, which is very, very light on the system. The idea is to give digestive process and assimilation process a break so that rest of the body begins to excrete. On the cellular level, it must throw out all the impurities. Any correction and purification that needs to happen in the body, your stomach needs to be empty. It's very, very important. Otherwise, the purification on the cellular level will not happen. You pile up things and then you have all kinds of problems. The first thing is inertia in the body. Inertia means there are many levels of inertia. If you don't notice all that, the amount of sleep that you have is inertia. All of you have come here to live or to live, right? Not here, I'm saying into this life. You want to live or… The intention of life is to live, isn't it? Because you talked about American doctors, this is all being picked up here also. All American doctors say minimum 7 to 8 hours you must sleep. So that means 1/3 of your life you must sleep. Another 2, 3 hours, 4 hours goes in bath, toilet, eating, this, you know. So literally 50% of your life is just maintenance. Suppose you have a vehicle, you have a motorcycle or a car, if it goes to service 1 day in a month, all right to keep it. If it goes to service 15 days in a month, this is a nuisance, isn't it so? Most people have made their systems into a nuisance because their own body is a big impediment in their life. Anything they want to do, their body will not allow them to do. So in this there are many aspects. One important aspect is people are eating much more than what they should eat, simply because they have been told you must eat more, otherwise you will become weak, this, that. No, it is the way you keep your body. Today everybody is trying to work towards a fuel-efficient car, motorcycle, everything. This means what? If the machine runs smoothly, it'll consume less fuel, isn't it? So if you sit here and you are very much at ease, now it'll consume less fuel. If you like this all the time, then it'll consume more fuel, it'll want you to eat. Compulsiveness will come about this. This new name, intermittent eating. In United States, people come to our programs will run 10 hours, 12 hours, but they will come with some biscuit and something else. They say, I have sugar intolerance, I have to eat. Tell them, you just be here, you're not going to die, I'll ensure, because I don't want anybody dead on my hands, all right? I'll make sure. Even first day, no, I have to eat. By third day, they gave up all that. 12 hours without food they sat there, they're perfectly fine. Health is not something you can do from outside, health is something you have to do from within. From outside, when something goes wrong, you can seek some help. But all the time something is wrong with you, this means what? You're a faulty machine. All the time something is wrong with you, why? That's not how this is designed. This is designed for health. Every cell in your body is designed to create health, isn't it? They're all working hard to create health, except you. Minimum 8 hours gap is what is recommended in yoga. Between one meal and the next meal, there must be an 8-hour space. If you do this, you will see half your problems of health, whatever you have health problems, minimum 50% will go away in 6 weeks' time. If you do certain other things which may right now seem little extreme to you, if you have a little yogic practice, something meditative within you, then you will see 90% of your problem will go out. 10% if it still persists, we can treat it. Now, it's become like this, the healthcare systems, especially where there is heavy insurance policies. People are eating and drinking all kinds of rubbish, go to the doctor and say, fix me. This is not how it works.
So, human vibrance can be in various levels, many different dimensions. It can carry you to completely different dimensions of experience and living. Keeping the body well is a fundamental requirement. You don't have to be a great athlete or something, just keeping it easy. That if you sit down here, you don't have to twist and turn all the time. If you sit down here, next few hours, you can simply sit here without being bothered by a bursting bladder or a craving stomach bag or this hurting, that hurting. If you sit here, you're fine. Just that much ease has to come into the body.